This is the Mexico Revealed podcast.
Welcome to the Mexico Revealed podcast.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Here we are, back again for, now I think last time we had to check with Melissa to see what episode number we're on. Do you know, Melissa, what episode number we're on?
I think it's like 15 maybe?
I think it might be 14.
14?
Oh. Do you see on our website?
Gotta do a 15 episode.
Think,
quick Google search here.
Yeah,
MexicoRevealed.com.
I'm wrong, but I think we're on 14 now. Continuing to bring to you lots of exciting ideas about Mexico. If you're watching us on YouTube, you may notice something different in this episode. If you're just listening to us, it wouldn't be readily apparent, but there are only 4 of us on this episode. Normally we have 5. So unfortunately, we are missing one of our hosts, who is Sam. So Sam is not with us at the moment. So
it's not because he was in an accident
or something. And we didn't fire him.
No.
we didn't have a workforce reduction. So
we love
Sam. We miss Sam. It's too bad because he provides a lot of color for these episodes. So unfortunately, well, it's a very positive thing. Unfortunately for this episode, he's not with us, but he is currently he's continuing the tradition of Latin America. He's currently living in Peru, where he is serving as a missionary. So he is out of pocket for 2 years. It's a 2-year time period that he'll be down there. So we're going to have to carry on the Mexico Revealed podcast for a couple of years here until he gets back. And then maybe we'll do a special episode on Peru when he comes back, even though it's the Mexico Revealed podcast. But, Latin America, it's another fun place to visit, I'm sure. So we'll have to maybe get some of his insights on that. But for now, it's just the 4 of us, Marianne and myself, and then Melissa and Caroline. So here we are.
And it is episode 14.
I knew it.
Yeah, you knew it. Pretty good.
Boom.
Good memory.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm the one who's editing these things and stuff, so it probably is ingrained more in my mind that the last one was 13. But here we are, episode 14. And along those lines, since our last episode, sure enough, we've been back to Mexico, at least Marianne and myself. We did a trip, right?
It was a fun trip. Mm-hmm.
Very fun.
Yep.
So where did you guys go?
We went to Dad's Shirt, Playa del Carmen.
For our listeners and not viewers, his shirt says Playa del Carmen.
That's right. Just da-da-da-da. And that will be the topic of another episode. We stayed in the Mayacoba area, which is a lot of fun. That's one of our favorite places to stay. We really enjoy that. However, the topic of this episode, we've mentioned in several of our earlier episodes about how we really enjoy going to Xplor, right? In fact, I think our most recent episode, we talked about that because Caroline, you and Taylor went to Xplor on your trip, right?
You did, yes.
And we've been there, I don't know, collectively, we've been there at least 3 times or something like that, haven't we?
I think 3 total, yeah.
And
within all of us.
Yeah.
Caroline, but yes.
Yeah, so add that, that's probably 4 visits. So we like that place. It's right by Playa del Carmen, and it's a lot of fun. But Xplor is part of a group of locations, I don't know what you call them, like parks, like a
amusement park.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like your amusement park you think of in the US where you have roller coasters and stuff like that. It's more like a nature park. Mm-hmm.
Theme parks or nature parks.
Yeah. So the Xplor Park is owned by a group called Xcaret, and they have multiple parks out there. And so Xplor is one of them, but their original park, which carries their original name, is actually called Xcaret, and it's close to Xplor and also close to Playa del Carmen. That's the original park. They have other ones like Xelha. I think they have one now called Xochimilco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like different.
We're in Mexico City.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's different. I don't know. But I know they at least have Xplor. Xcaret is the original, and Xelha. And so since we've been to Xplor many times, we wanted to go do something off the resort. So Marianne and I decided we would try the original park, Xcaret. So we decided to go there this last time. And these parks are fun places. I mean, sometimes if you're going down to this area, Riviera Maya, some people want to just stay on the resort, especially if it's all inclusive and all that. So you may just want to stay there, which is, that can be a fun vacation. But if you want to venture off of the resort, venture away from the beach, there's a lot of fun activities, and Xplor and Xcaret are two of those. Since this was our first time going to Xcaret, we thought we would do a review to tell you a little bit about it.
Wait, before you go on, Xcaret has its own resort attached to it.
That's true.
So,
it has a hotel resort. Mm-hmm.
And all the resorts, all the all-inclusive resorts, make it easy to be able to go to these parks as well. Like they have the shuttle bus that the concierge can set you up with, and it comes right up to the door, and it's super easy. Yeah.
Yeah, any resort you're staying at, you can just talk to the concierge, and they will sell you tickets, arrange it. They all do that, right?
Yeah.
And that's how is that how you arranged to go to Xplor, Caroline? You just with your concierge?
No, we actually did it through Xplor's website, and then selected the option to be picked up by Xplor's bus at our resort. And the bus is able to just go in through the gate and like tell them our names and then pick us up right at the front door of the resort. And it did that with as well, and then took us down. And then they gave us a pickup time as well, like meet at the park at this time and we'll take you back to your resort. So it was super easy.
For us, we were staying close to Playa del Carmen, so we just bought our tickets online and then took a taxi. So we just took a taxi over to Xcaret, which wasn't too far, and then just took a taxi home. There were several taxis waiting outside when we left, right, Marianne? Remember when we came out?
Yeah,
and so
did this walk, which is like really fast for me to try and keep up with Scott's speed walk. But yes, we did speed walk to the taxis, and we were out of there.
We tried to beat the rush out a little bit, so we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, they make it pretty easy to go to the parks. You can stay, like Marianne said, for Xcaret, you can stay at the Xcaret Resort, which is connected to the park. And I've heard good things about that. We've never stayed there, but I've heard it's pretty nice. So that's certainly an option. So something
I know someone that stayed there too, and they said it was nice as well. They liked it.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's all inclusive or you have that option. I don't know. So maybe we can stay there sometime. But we don't have the experience. But anyway, we did go to Xcaret. So we've been to Xplor several times. Marianne, how would you describe Xcaret, particularly compared to Xplor?
It's different because Xplor is more adventure based, zip lining, this, that. Xcaret is more look at the aquarium, look at this setup of a colonial town.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch shark feeding type things.
Yeah. Pet the shark. You can pet.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible to me.
Pet the shark.
I don't like sharks.
That would be your favorite activity, Melissa.
It's like probably like petting vinyl, right? It's just not.
Yeah.
They're little small sharks. So
Yeah, but when they eat, it makes a really loud noise. Chomp their teeth.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were there more? Would you say there are more kids at Xcaret or Xplor?
Probably, I'd say Xcaret is a little bit more friendly for smaller kids.
Like stroller kids and things.
Yeah, because
Teenagers going to like explore.
Yeah.
because of the zip lines. But you may, if you have kids that are too small to do zip lines, then you're probably better off at Xcaret because the zip lines are the main thing at Explorer. So,
But each is huge. It's like 3 or 4 explorers. There's a lot
Oh.
walk involved with Xcaret.
yeah. And it does have kind of some similar activities. Like the first thing we did at Xcaret, and you can, when you go there, there's lockers and places where you can change. So for us, that's kind of what we did. We just kind of took our swimsuits, right, and changed. We took water shoes.
Yeah, never
And-
forget water shoes.
Right. I think we
Yeah.
bought them. Caroline, I think we went into town and bought some before we went to Xcaret.
Yeah,
High price.
at the Quinta Avenida.
Yes.
Also, another good thing to take when you're going to these is like a waterproof phone holder because they mark up those a lot too.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're interested in like taking pictures or video in the water places, then that can be useful.
Yes.
And that's the first thing we did there too. Is we went. It was an underground swimming.
the no
Similar.
taste.
Yeah.
No.
So they have that at Xcaret, and that's what we did right off the bat. Is we went and changed into our swimsuits, and then we went down into the swim underground, which was fun. I thought it was fun.
It was fun. It's
Yeah.
pretty long and narrow, so it can get kind of backed up. So
It got a little crowded, and it was long. It went on for quite some a ways, didn't it?
yeah.
Was it
Mhm.
floor one? Like the underground tunnel?
It wasn't all underground. It would
Oh,
go under some things and then it would have big walls.
Open to the sky. Yeah.
It was
So it's-
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
Was it
Mhm.
cold?
At first, it was cold.
Yeah.
And you get moving and you warm up.
Okay.
Yeah. It was cold but bearable. So,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
And then we were there in July, so it was hot outside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was
Oh.
hot. And it got very hot walking around and stuff, didn't it, Marianne?
yeah, like almost too much because there's nowhere to really go for air conditioning because the eating areas are under like palapa tents,
been air.
Mhm.
open air. So we found the aquarium, which was cooler, but yeah, it was hot. There was an hour there where I just thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue with this, but
Yeah, it was hotter than normal. I mean, this was July, and even for July, it was pretty warm. So, usually I don't think you're going to have an issue with that, but we just happened to be there when it was really hot. Mhm.
yeah, but still fun. I'm glad we went.
But there's opportunities to get into the water. And like Marianne said, there's a lot more nature stuff at Xcaret than at Xplor. I mean, Xplor, you're in the jungle and everything, but at Xcaret, there was, so what were some of the other activities we did? We mentioned swimming with sharks. So there's one area where you can get in the water and there's sharks that you can pet.
Mhm.
And there's also swimming with dolphins. So if you want to do the swim with dolphins, you can do that. There may be an extra charge for that. I can't remember. But
There was snorkeling with the fish.
There's snorkeling as well.
That's-
Although it wasn't that the snorkeling wasn't that great. Although it's very beginner. So if you're somebody who's never ever snorkeled, put on a snorkel and you just are afraid of that or whatever, the setup they have is very easy for you to do that. And in addition, they have these masks that cover your whole face that have it's a like a totally over your face sort of mask,
like a plastic dome kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing comes up, the air pipe or whatever you call that comes up over the top of your head.
Oh.
And so you don't have to stick the snorkel in your mouth, like a normal snorkel. You just stick the thing on your face and breathe normally. So it's pretty easy. And
I liked it because I am a semi-snorkeler. And so when I was just done, all you do is just stand up and you're in like waist deep water.
Yeah, it was shallow water. You had this mask that's very easy. So yeah, if you've never done snorkeling before, it's an easy introduction. But the fish, and there's a few fish around, but it wasn't, the snorkeling part itself was not super impressive.
No, wouldn't go to Xcaret for the snorkeling. It's just one of the to do.
Yeah, there. And if that's your reason for going, then you're better off going somewhere else to snorkel in the ocean. So, but it's a way to get in the water. But it's okay. And then
big
dolphins,
big manatees.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
They were feeding, so that was kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah, in some ways it was kind of like a zoo in that sense, right? Like an ocean-oriented type zoo where you had the dolphins, the sharks, the manatees.
But they had horses too, remember? Like the Spanish horse rides?
Yeah, they did a little horse show, which was kind of fun. You don't get to ride horses, but they did like a show with people that do like charros, And they showed that the horses are trained. They're like Mexican style rodeo, they have their outfits with the big hats and stuff, and the horses would do like
high steps.
They do high steps and go back and forth and do like show type moves,
So was this in did they have like a stadium or like a show area, or was this just like some performing?
The horses, it did have like a small little stadium place for the horses.
Like small, like bleachers, like maybe 4 on either side. So not huge.
Yeah. But it was also part of, so they had kind of the animals and things, but then they also had stuff that's kind of like traditional Mexico, like an old church type of thing, and an old hacienda type thing. There's some little shops.
That was some of my favorite, is seeing the old hacienda and the wagons and the architecture and the design. And they had some rooms set up of what a hacienda would have looked like.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah, with like old furniture and things that you might find in an old hacienda, like household items, right?
Yes.
And then they also had an area that was like more pre-Columbian, right? It was like a little Mayan village or something like that. Remember, Marianne?
There, and they actually had people doing stuff there. Like there was a lady that was carding the wool and weaving the wool, and they were selling stuff.
Oh.
If you wanted.
Yeah, like
That's cool.
Like artisanal products and things, and like a little village, which was pretty fun.
And a cemetery. Remember, they had like a traditional cemetery.
Yeah.
And then the bird area. That was
my favorite. I think my favorite was the birds.
Wait, so was it a real cemetery or a fake?
Well, I don't know.
I think it was fake, but it looked like it could be real. I don't know.
What makes that kind of cemetery in Mexico different from a cemetery you'd see in the US? What's different? Like, is
Well,
that their tour, like part of their tourist attraction is having a cemetery?
it might have
Well,
been, I don't
it's
That's so questionable.
Well, it had all the raised headstones, and then it has some little gates around it, and flowers, and
I'm
little.
sure they can use it too for like Dia de los Muertos. That's coming up.
Yeah, it was
that-
cool.
Yeah, it's
That's
more like the cement top with the big tombstone thing. So there's not like in the US, you mostly have grass, right? In these cemeteries. So it's old style. Mhm.
Yeah.
Did they do like a Halloween thing? Or
Well,
yeah, that
probably
was more.
Ed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know how Disney does like its big Halloween stuff, and I don't know.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
I'm
Right.
sure they do stuff for every holiday because it brings in more tourists.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So
There
tell
was
us
but going back to the birds though, that was probably my favorite area because it was like this big area. It's kind of, there's a jaguar area too, but the jaguars were not there. I don't know. So that would be really cool if we'd actually seen the jaguars, but for some reason, I think the jaguars are not there at the moment or something when we were there. But then we went to this bird place and it was all kind of, it was
Aviary.
open areas, like an aviary. So it was open areas, but then they had like nets that keep all the birds in. But the birds were amazing. I mean, what birds have we seen there? We saw these big, like pelican type birds and flamingos, and we saw the quetzal, parrots, these amazing parrots, and macaws, and toucans, and
wow.
just all these amazing birds. That was really incredible. We'll have to throw some pictures up in our bonus content, but yeah, I mean, just these really colorful big birds. I mean, it was really neat. And they do some bird breeding there too, right, Marianne? Remember?
I don't remember that part. I just remember gotta watch. You know, birds are flying around. Lots of things are flying around, so you just kind of gotta pay attention to where you're
Brace
going.
for impact.
Yeah. Yeah, because these were not fake birds. These were real birds.
No, these were real and lots. It was highly dense population.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of birds. It was yeah, like I said, that was the highlight for me of the Xcaret was going to the birds. So if you're going to go there, you got to make sure you do the full circuit. And there's like a path. It's like a tour through it, isn't it? There's like a circuit, and you go up another level, and you cross over a bridge, and then you go up to another level, and then you cross into another area. There were eagles too, weren't there eagles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they keep those ones separate?
Yes. Otherwise, we probably see birds eating birds. So.
Yeah, they were in a separate area. But yeah, just it was amazing. So that was the highlight for me of the visit. That bird sanctuary area. Yeah.
And they had a butterfly area as well.
They did, that's true. They did have a butterfly area, which was fun.
And then
not the same density as like when we went to the butterflies in Estado de Mexico, towards Michoacan.
No.
Do you guys remember?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Dusty.
There, it was amazing how the trees were blanketed with monarch butterflies. Remember that?
Monarch.
Yeah.
Oh, and I remember the one place that does have air conditioning Remember, Scott, we went up in that thing that goes up high and then it spins around so you can see the ocean and all area. That thing was air conditioned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a tower. It was a big tower, and it has a rotating thing on it that you can ride in, and it rotates around and you go up to the top. And that was cool. You have these amazing views of the ocean and the area around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely worth doing as well.
Also, because you can just sit there. So it's very relaxing.
Yeah, we did that towards the end of the day. And so that was a nice respite from the heat and all the walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Are there a lot of seating areas, or is it sparse?
There's a lot of buffet restaurants. I mean, you just pick, like, you
can, as part of your ticket, you can get lunch at one of the buffets, and then there's several. There were some where you can like pay extra, but then there's several that are just included as part of your ticket if you buy the buffet add-on or whatever. And so we just chose one of those. They have different types of food, and we chose one of them, and it was pretty good. I don't know. What do you think of the food, Marianne?
I thought it was good. It was in the kind of a jungly setting, so there was lots of shade, which was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just had a ton of different, I mean, it was a hodgepodge of everything. They had hot dogs and French fries and paella and just all sorts of stuff, pasta.
My favorite thing there is they had like a coconut crusted fish. So it was like a fish fillet, but like coconut crusted, like coconut shrimp type crust, but only fish. And it had like some of that little sauce. That was good. That was my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, because we were there a long time. We got there at like
all day,
9 in the morning, and we were there until almost 10 at night. So,
oh, wow.
That is a long day.
Yeah. They had some good drinks. What were the drinks they had at that place, Marianne? Do you remember?
They had agua de Jamaica and limonada, which is, the fresh lime.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Didn't they have like
the mango thing that you liked.
Yes, the mango drink. That was good.
If you put mango on the menu, Scott will order it, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
yes.
That's like my weakness if it has mango.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to eat it. Or the mango drink. That was really good, that mango drink.
It was good.
Mm-hmm. What was that, Caroline?
What was in it?
Mango.
I think it's just mango, like agua. You know how they make aguas in Mexico, where it's basically blended up fruit in some water, and maybe they add a little sugar. Agua de sandia, agua de melon. So sandia, that's the watermelon, or melon, that would be cantaloupe water. And in this case, so I think it was just like mango blended up in some water, so it's more of a beverage versus like just blended up fruit, maybe with a little bit of sugar for sweetener. But it was good stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
So that was, so the food was pretty good. There was there was like a beach area too, Marianne, wasn't there? I mean, we went to those little pools.
We didn't really do the beach, but we did that show at the end, remember?
Yeah. Maybe we'll finish with that. But the one other thing before we get to the show was the aquarium, which I also thought was pretty cool, where you walk through underground, and they had the aquarium type areas. I'm trying to remember what they had, like a jellyfish thing that was really cool. That was like all colors. And you could see the fish and like the shark area and stuff. I thought the aquarium was pretty fun as well.
Aquarium is awesome at 2, 3, 4 o'clock because
it is air conditioned, yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it's air conditioned, but at least it's dark and cool.
Yeah, that got out. We were able to get out of the heat for a minute when we went down in the aquarium. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all fun activities. I think the Marianne mentioned it, but sort of the big finale of the day was the show. And that was impressive. Even though we've been to shows like that before, but it's a big show. I mean, they have like a big sort of like an arena stadium sort of thing. And you don't need special tickets for it. It's just included. Although I think you can maybe get, if you pay a little extra, there might be preferred seating or something like that. But we didn't have that. Our seats were really pretty close to the action. But that was pretty impressive. They do this show where they kind of do the history of Mexico. So they start with like the old Mayans, and they do like a Mayan ball game out there where they're actually playing the game. You know, the guys are out there, you have to hit it with your hip, that sort of thing, you know.
Hit it through
They
the hoop.
actually played it?
Yeah, they play it.
Wow.
Yeah, the guys come out and actually do the ball game the way it was played back in the ancient times, I guess. So,
wow.
And
so
then they had a lot of dancing from different areas of Mexico and costumes, and it was really good. A lot of people show.
Yeah, so they had like the pre-Columbian thing, and then they show the conquest, right? Remember, Marianne, the Spaniards, Cortez, and they have the conquest of Mexico and the fight between the Aztecs and the Spaniards and all their allies. And and then they did lots of dances from the colonial period, you know, so those traditional type dances that you guys have seen, like ballet folklorico sort of stuff.
Like at the parties that we went to.
So
it was cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun and big. I mean,
the show started at like 8, so we ate lunch at like 2. So by 8, you know, we're pretty hungry.
What did we do?
We ate popcorn. Remember, popcorn and water.
Was that all we did?
So you and getting dinner before the show?
No, we didn't get dinner because we figured out that a lot of the buffet type restaurants shut down at like 4 or something. So there's only certain restaurants that you can pay that are available, but they were packed. And so we just went for the popcorn option.
There is an option in the show too that you can pay extra for, like a dinner, like a, I don't know, multi-course dinner during the show, which might be fun to do. We didn't do that, but that's something that you could think about. So you eat dinner while you watch the show.
Yes.
We didn't do that.
Those people must have been staying at the Xcaret resort because they came in, they were all clean and their hair was all perfect. And we were all these sweaty, hot messes on the other side with our popcorn. But it was a good experience.
The show, though, was, especially if you've never been to Mexico before, or you haven't been to experience Mexican dance and traditions and things like that, then if you haven't had that, the show would be, you know, a great introduction to all of that. But even for us that have been in Mexico a long time and have been to a lot of these different shows, it was good. I thought they did a really nice job, and it was like I said, it was pretty big production. I mean, they had all the stuff with the invasion of the Spaniards and all this. You know, it was quite a spectacle.
So a good way to do it might be to stay at the Xcaret Resort, where you have unlimited access into the park. And then you can take the little golf cart or whatever service over. And then when you're tired, you could go back and forth. And then it wouldn't be so big if you didn't want to do, a 12-hour day.
Or maybe just plan on going to one of the restaurants for like an early dinner.
Right. Yeah.
And just plan that into your schedule before going to the show, or buy the tickets for the dinner at the show. So
yeah, that would be fun.
But overall, I would say that was a fun way to end it. And it really gave you a feel for the whole Mexican culture and stuff. So just to wrap up, I think that if you're looking for adventure and excitement, especially like teenage kids or young adults, Xplor is definitely going to be the fun thing to do. But if you're looking for something that's more like a nature zoo with some interactive experiences related
history,
to the ocean,
culture.
Yeah, and then the history and culture of Mexico, some of those sorts of things, I would say Xcaret is a great option for that. You get to experience some of that history and culture along with all of the kind of wildlife that you find in Mexico, particularly in the Yucatan and that area down there. So it's fun. I can't remember what we paid, but it was worth it. I think I'd go back. I think it was worth it. As far as cost and so on to do Xcaret. You agree, Marianne?
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed it. In fact, now we need to try Shell Ha. So let's plan something.
Round out the top three.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the one we haven't done. That one's a little bit further away too. And
is it?
Yeah.
Towards Tulum? Towards where?
Towards Tulum. Yeah. It's further down. And I think they may have more like snorkeling underwater stuff. I don't know, but we'll have to try that sometime.
What, Caroline?
Is that one a water park?
Well, they're all kind of water parky.
Oh, like water park slides. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to try it out.
I want to try out Xcaret.
Yeah,
you convinced me too. I want to.
Yeah.
Caroline and I haven't been there, so.
Yeah. The birds, I'm telling you, those birds. Oh my words. That was just amazing.
The main thing is you better have good walking shoes. Don't think you're going to just do your little flip-flops because it is spread out.
Yeah, lots of walking. Yeah. And go see the birds.
Got it. Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. Definitely try Xcaret sometime when you're down there. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Mexico Revealed. And be sure to leave us comments, subscribe, give us likes, comments, and tell your friends. And hopefully this is useful information for you if you want to plan a trip to Mexico.
Visit our trip. MexicoRevealed.com for pictures.
Bonus content.
That's right. Check it out.
We're on Spotify, every podcast, YouTube.
That's right. All the platforms. Check us out. Tell your friends. And come back for our next time on Mexico Revealed. All right? Bye.